En la clase de hoy vamos a aprender inglés de una manera sencilla y divertida. Vamos a escuchar y leer 4 historias diferentes en inglés. La idea es que te vayas familiarizando con el idioma, escuchando y leyendo todo en inglés. Todas las palabras que no entiendas, escríbelas en tu cuaderno para posteriormente traducirlas. Verás que si eres constante con este método, verás grandes resultados. Sin nada más que decir, comencemos.
In the quiet town of Valle Verde, there lived a young woman named Sophia. Since childhood, Sophia had been a curious person full of dreams. However, as she grew older, she began to feel that something was missing in her life. Despite having a good job and a loving family, she felt an inexplicable void. One day, while walking through the park, Sophia found an abandoned book on a bench. The title of the book was Invest in Yourself. Intrigued, she picked it up and began to read. The book talked about the importance of self-awareness, developing skills, and taking care of mental and physical health. Sophia felt inspired and decided it was time to make a change in her life. The first step she took was to enroll in a meditation course. At first, she found it difficult to concentrate, but over time, she began to enjoy the peace and clarity that meditation brought her. She learned to be present in the moment and to manage stress more effectively. In addition to meditation, Sophia decided to rekindle her passion for painting. She had stopped painting years ago due to the responsibilities of work and daily life. She bought canvases, brushes, and paints, and dedicated time each week to creating art. Painting became a form of expression and a way to connect with her emotions. Sophia also began to take care of her body. She started exercising regularly and eating healthier. She discovered that exercise not only improved her physical health, but also had a positive impact on her mood and energy. As the months passed, Sophia noticed significant changes in her life. She felt happier, more confident, and more at peace. She decided to share her experience with others and began giving talks about the importance of investing in oneself. Her talks inspired many people to make positive changes in their lives. One day, while giving a talk at a conference, she met Javier, a young entrepreneur who was also interested in personal development. Javier and Sophia began working together on projects that promoted well-being and personal growth. Together, they founded a nonprofit organization that offered workshops and resources to help people invest in themselves. The organization grew rapidly and had a positive impact on the community. Sophia and Javier traveled across the country, sharing their message and helping thousands of people discover the power of investing in oneself. Sophia realized that the void she had felt before had been filled with purpose and fulfillment. Sophia's story became an example of how investing in oneself can transform life. Her journey of self-discovery and personal growth inspired many to follow in her footsteps and seek happiness and well-being through personal development. In the bustling city of New York, there lived a young man named Daniel. Since childhood, Daniel had dreamed of becoming a successful stock market investor. Inspired by stories of great financial magnates, he decided to study economics and finance at university. After graduating with honors, he landed a job at a prestigious investment firm on Wall Street. Daniel was ambitious and hardworking. He spent long hours analyzing the market, studying charts, and reading financial reports. His dedication soon paid off, and he began to gain recognition within the firm. However, his true challenge came when he decided to invest his own savings in the stock market. Confident in his abilities, Daniel invested in shares of an emerging tech company called Technova. The company promised to revolutionize the market with its innovative artificial intelligence technology. During the first few months, Technova's shares soared, and Daniel watched his investment double. Excited by his success, Daniel decided to take even more risks. He sold his Technova shares and reinvested all his capital in a biotech company called BioFuture, which was developing a revolutionary cure for a rare disease. Rumors about the success of the clinical trials caused BioFuture's shares to skyrocket, and Daniel felt on top of the world. However, the euphoria did not last long. One day, the company announced that the clinical trials had failed and that the cure was not effective. BioFuture's shares plummeted, and Daniel lost a significant portion of his investment. Desperate, he tried to recover his money by investing in other companies, but each move resulted in more losses. Daniel realized that he had been too impulsive and had not diversified his investments. He decided to take a break and reflect on his mistakes. During this time, he dedicated himself to studying long-term investment strategies and learning from great investors. Over time, Daniel returned to investing, but this time with a more cautious and diversified strategy. He invested in a mix of stocks, bonds, and index funds. Although the returns were not as spectacular as before, they were steady and secure. He learned to be patient and not to be swayed by the excitement of the moment. Eventually, Daniel managed to recover his losses and build a solid and stable investment portfolio. His story became a lesson for other investors about the importance of patience, diversification, and risk management. Daniel became a mentor for young investors, sharing his experience and knowledge to help them avoid the same mistakes he had made. In the bustling city of Metropolis, the central bank was known for its impenetrable security. However, a group of cunning thieves, led by the enigmatic Raphael, had a master plan to rob it. Raphael, a former bank employee, knew every corner of the building and had spent years planning the perfect heist. Raphael's team consisted of experts in various fields: Laura, a prodigy hacker, Marcos, a master of disguise, and Elena, an engineer with exceptional skills in explosives. Together, they formed an unstoppable team. On the day of the heist, everything started as a normal day at the bank. Employees were performing their daily tasks, unaware of what was about to happen. At 10 a.m., Laura deactivated the security cameras and alarm systems from a remote location. Marcos, disguised as a security guard, entered the bank without raising suspicion. Elena had discreetly placed explosives at strategic points in the building the night before. At 10:15 a.m., Raphael and his team entered the bank. Within minutes, they took control of the place, ensuring that no one could alert the authorities. Raphael headed to the main vault, where he knew millions in cash and gold bars were stored. With Elena's help, they managed to open the vault in record time. Meanwhile, Laura kept the security systems at bay, ensuring that no alarms were triggered. The team worked with precision and coordination, but they knew time was their greatest enemy. At 10:45 a.m., they began loading the money and gold into specially designed bags for quick transport. However, just as they were about to finish, a bank employee managed to activate a silent alarm. Sirens began to wail, and the police arrived at the scene within minutes. Raphael and his team found themselves surrounded. However, they were not willing to surrender. Laura, from her remote location, disabled the police communications, creating a window of time to escape. Elena detonated the explosives on a sidewall of the bank, creating an escape route. Raphael and his team ran towards the exit, but the police were getting closer. In a desperate maneuver, Marcos used his disguise skills and blended in with the hostages, managing to escape undetected. Raphael, Laura, and Elena managed to reach a getaway vehicle they had prepared beforehand. They sped through the streets of Metropolis, evading the police in a frantic chase. Finally, they reached a safe hideout on the outskirts of the city. The heist at the central bank became one of the most daring and talked about robberies in history. Although the police intensified their search, Raphael and his team vanished without a trace. The legend of the great heist at the central bank remained alive in Metropolis's memory, and Raphael was remembered as the mastermind behind the perfect heist. On a dark and stormy night, the presidential house was silent. All the guards were at their posts, watching every corner of the building. However, no one suspected that the most daring heist in the country's history would take place that night. The president, a man known for his integrity and dedication, had recently received a valuable gift, an ancient jewel that had belonged to a king from a distant land. This jewel, known as the Dragon's Heart, was kept in a safe in his personal office. At 2 a.m, a group of highly trained thieves infiltrated the presidential house. Led by a man known only as the Fox, the thieves had planned the heist for months. They knew every detail of the building's security and were prepared for any eventuality. The Fox and his team disabled the alarms and neutralized the guards without making a sound. They moved with the precision of a Swiss watch, each knowing exactly what to do. They reached the president's office and began working on the safe. Meanwhile, in a nearby room, the president woke up to a faint noise. Suspecting something was wrong, he got up and headed to his office. Upon arrival, he saw the thieves working on the safe. Without losing his composure, the president activated a silent alarm that alerted the police. The Fox, realizing that time was running out, sped up the process. Finally, they managed to open the safe and take the jewel. However, just as they were about to escape, the police arrived and surrounded the building. The Fox, showing his cunning, used a series of underground tunnels he had discovered during his planning. Guiding his team through the tunnels, they managed to escape the presidential house without being caught. The police, finding no trace of the thieves, began an intense search throughout the city. The president, although relieved that no one was hurt, was determined to recover the jewel. He offered a substantial reward for any information leading to the capture of the thieves. Days later, a tip led the police to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. Upon arrival, they found the Fox and his team celebrating their success. After a brief confrontation, the thieves were arrested, and the jewel was recovered. The president, grateful for the police's work, organized a ceremony to return the Dragon's Heart to its place in the presidential house. The story of the heist became legend, and the Fox was remembered as one of the most cunning thieves in history.
Espero de todo corazón que esta clase te haya gustado. Si es así, regálame un like y suscríbete al canal, que en verdad me ayudarías bastante. Y para todos los estudiantes que se quedaron hasta el final, les tengo un regalo. Debajo de este video encontrarán una clase de inglés desde cero totalmente gratuita. El link para esta clase estará en la descripción del video o en el comentario fijado. También te recomiendo que veas este otro video donde aprenderás inglés con una historia muy interesante, súper divertida. Entonces te espero ahí, no te lo puedes perder.